Okay, as of last night, yesterday when the news hit, we came up to this 2 hour supply that had a 30-minute supply inside. Where the top of this channel was, we came and hit the supply, hit the top of the channel, rejected back down. And as of last night, we finally broke through the channel, retested it a little bit, and have been going higher. This is a good example of when I say that the end of a supply and demand zone can turn into resistance or support. So you see how price went up. We hit this other 2 hour supply. It rejected down nicely. After it broke through, it came down. You see it wicked right off of this, the top of this zone here. This is why sometimes in the same trading day, even though a zone has been triggered, I'll keep the zone there so I can see where other areas of bounces and rejections could be. So anyway, let's remove these things from the chart because they've been sliced through a couple times. So I'm just going to remove all of this and start charting. Whoops. Again from top to bottom. Let's go to the 12 hour. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we had a 12 hour level. Oh yeah, that's been sliced through a bunch. All right, we've got one below. Hold on, Coley.
What's wrong, man? What's wrong?
At 56.61.
What do you want? What's wrong with your mom?
All right, so we have this 12 hour demand here. Let me take a look at this zone. This one's a pretty large zone, so I'll be looking for levels inside to trade as well. Going down to the 6 hour. And again, if you guys can see why I have this marked as a key level here, this, if you're looking back at the areas that we have to get above in order to keep price moving, this is one of those levels that we have to get above, as well as this being one of those levels that we have to get above. That's coinciding with this supply zone that's up here. So I'm going to be watching this one closely as we get there. What is this? Okay, it's a 4 hour supply. All right, so back looking at the 6 hour, there's our 6 hour zone inside. We could be forming a 6 hour supply here, but this candle won't close until 1 p.m. So I'm not going to be watching for that. I will mark where the 6 hour zone is inside of this 12, 56.49.25. All right, down to the 4 hour. Oh, 4 hour and 6 hour are sitting at exactly the same spot, just about. So this will be a place I'm pretty interested in if the market gets there. We have a 4 hour supply zone here that could give us a quick, just a quick rejection as the market is making its way. It looks like it's making its way up, but we'll see. See, now we broke out of this downward channel. We're coming up, but again, we'll see what happens. 56.97.75. Okay, down to the 2 hour. Not sure what's going on here. Give me a minute. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what was going. What is really happening? 1 second. Okay, so inside of this 4 hour, we have a 2 hour zone. And so I'm going to go ahead and mark that. I always love having zones inside to give us better entries on these wider ones, 5706.25. Okay, and 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. Guess I could look at the 90-minute. 90-minute really close to the 2 hour, but above it, so I'm not going to mark it. Okay. And down to the 1 hour. Same deal. I'll mark it just in case. 5717.25. So when you have zones inside of zones like this and they're pretty wide, but you still want to trade them, it's all about risk management here. So this is from 56.97 up to, what's the high? 57.17. Yeah, 57.17. So what's that? 20 points. So what I would suggest doing is if you want to trade it, and let's say you are the type of person who wants to trade it as soon as it hits the zone, only enter one contract, enter one contract and watch how price reacts. Or let's say you enter higher into the zone. Again, you can always enter one contract and watch how price reacts. So these zones formed over the course of a couple of hours, right? You see it's a 4 hour supply, a 2 hour supply. So sometimes it can take some time for the move to happen outside of it. Like yesterday, I think we were sitting inside of a 6 hour demand and a 3 hour demand. This move actually right here came out of a 4 hour demand and a 1 hour demand. And it took a little bit of time for price, not that one, I'm sorry, this one. It took a little bit of time for price to move from here all the way up to here, right? Because I'm on the 1 hour chart now. So it took from the time this candle entered the zone, this was 1 hour, this was another hour while it was still playing around very much in the zone. And then on the 3rd hour, it really made a bigger push outside of the zone. So sometimes it can take a little while. So don't feel like you're going to miss it by entering one contract and watching and seeing when the momentum builds in order to take the rest of the move down. You can always add another contract later when the momentum is building in your favor. So you don't have to be in drawdown as long if you entered a little bit earlier in the zone. Excuse me. Okay, and finally 30-minute. Okay, once again, we got 30-minute zones inside of here. We got 2 of them. Here's a 30-minute here. Here's a 30-minute here. This is just a big supply area that was built. And everything below, this has been triggered already. This was triggered already. This was triggered already. Actually, this one was invalidated. Yeah, so nothing new on the 30 right now that I'm looking at. I will definitely be looking for new 30-minute zones after the market opens. So again, I'll mark the 30-minute just because sometimes I like to see if it's hitting exactly at the 30-minute levels all the time. 57.12. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at today. Let me extend this channel to the right. because this channel can also still be a bounce zone, right? So it was in this channel for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, broke out last night, had a quick retest right here, but it can always come back to retest it again. And if it does retest, we would have double confirmation, right? If it gets down here, it would be down here at the channel retest, and it would be down here in our demand zone. So we could look to take a bounce up. Before or after that, as it comes into the supply zones, we can look to take a quick rejection down. I would hope to see at least 10 points out of this zone. And if it breaks, I would want to see it above this level, 57.2475, in order to take it up any higher toward 57.73. Okay, let me take a screenshot of this and post it. And this is what I'm looking at today. All right.